I'm Megan Waldrop, host of the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast, an extension of an online community created for partners to connect worldwide, find helpful resources, and share stories to feel less alone in this incredibly unique and adventurous way of life. The POCF podcast invites fishermen, family, friends, supporters, or those curious to know more about the commercial fishing community to join conversations as we learn from each other, laugh, sometimes cry, and relate with those who are the faces behind each catch. What do you say? Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast, y'all. I'm so happy to be here for our third episode of 2024. It's just what a incredible way to just start the year. We're just going deep. And I wanted to check in after the last two episodes where we essentially took a deep dive into the theme of cultivating independence within a strong partnership. And we do that in the Partners of Commercial Fishing industry by starting with what we can do to honor ourselves. And let's see, the first episode I spoke about my journey to therapy and tips from my therapist for handling anxiety. Last week was a magical interview with breathwork facilitator and Reiki master Brenda Winkle, which we'll talk more about in a moment. I mean, it's just so good, right? And I just want to say thank you so much for listening and participating in however way you feel comfortable. Or maybe you're like, this is totally not for me, but I'm interested to hear about it, and that's totally fine too. Either way, we're in it together, which is the best part about being in our Partners of Commercial Fishermen community. Whoop whoop, POCF pride. Okay, so this episode is a shorter one. And basically, I wanted to check in and also tell you a story about something that happened to me this past weekend and how I used some of Brenda's tools. And I was really blown away by how it worked immediately. So yeah, if you haven't listened yet, check out last week's episode. You can learn some of these tips for yourself and use them whenever you feel the need to distress or protect your energy. So on that note, here's where my story comes in. So to set the stage, I interviewed Brenda Winkle on Wednesday, and this event I'm about to share happened the following Saturday, so about 3 days later. So it's Saturday morning, and I plan to go to the Wilmington Farmers Market to get this amazing sourdough from a local company here. It's organic, flour milled in North Carolina, and this company just does it so well. If you have a favorite local bread company, you know what it means to just get that freaking fresh loaf. I mean, just savor it. So good. Or maybe you even make your own, like my sister-in-law, and that's one of my main goals too. But anyway, if you're a bread lover, you know what it's like. Regardless, good bread is special. Because of that, this company sells out really quickly. So you have to get there before 9:30 or 10 or maybe earlier in the morning. So I pull into the parking lot and it's packed as usual. And I eventually find a parking spot back and away in a totally different area than I normally have searched for parking before. This farmer's market is in front of one of our amazing co-ops, the Tidal Creek Co-op. And then there's like an apartment complex around there. So regardless, I found a little nug spot. It was great. It's my new favorite spot. So before I got out of the car, I decided to try Brenda's zip up method that she taught us in the last episode to protect our energy, when we're in crowded spaces or feel like, maybe we need a little extra something. So I physically mimed zipping myself up from front to back 3 times in my car. And then I sat in a moment. I was like, okay, cool. Let's see what this is like. So this is where it gets real. And I feel it got real to show me how this trick actually works. So I walk to the bread line. It's super long. I get my place and I look around as I wait. It's about 2 to 3 minutes of not moving. And, that's like nothing. But when you're standing there in the cold, it feels like something, right? So finally, some customers in the front get their things, move out of the way. The line inches forward. But the 2 women in front of me were talking, and maybe they didn't notice, but there was like a huge stretch of line, like there's a human being could lay down and touch, their feet could touch one person to the other person in the line. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. I mean, maybe they don't notice. And also, am I being impatient? Like, let me check myself. But also let me add that there's like the way that it's set up too, sometimes there can be congestion trying to get through the little walkway. So the people behind me are constantly being like, excuse me. People are trying to get through when there's still tons of space. So I'm like, I'm understanding. Also, I'm feeling that there's a vibe coming from one of the women that maybe they're trying to prove a point. So I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming. Maybe I'm projecting. So anyway, we're in this awkward line. And one of the women in front goes to get the bread. And we're still not moving. And then a third woman comes up and starts talking to the woman in front of me, the one with that was given the vibes. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's not in line. I don't know. Maybe she was talking with her friend and didn't realize this line's growing. And, I'm thinking, and there's people moving around and trying to get by. And so, I don't know. Maybe I'm misjudging this thing. So I lean over and say, excuse me, are you in line? And the woman with the vibe turns around and says, yes, I'm in line. And the third woman barks at me rudely and says, of course we're in line, and mumbles something that I couldn't hear. Which I'm like, wait, what? And I asked her what she said to better understand her reaction and kind of understand where they're coming from. She's like, can't you see that we're standing in line here? And I'm just shocked. Right now, my heart is racing telling this story. And it's not out of anger. It's out of that confrontation. I feel it. Again, I am not one for confrontation at all. Maybe, whatever that says. But in that moment, I thought, okay, I have my energy. I thought of that immediately. I was like, my energy is here. So I'm trying to figure out, what happened and how can I neutralize the situation in a sense. So I said, I wasn't sure. I saw you all talking. And before I could finish, she goes, yeah, we're talking and standing in line. And I'm just still going, wow, what is going on? And I said, I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just checking in, have a blessed day. And I just sit back and thought, what the hell just happened? And then was I being rude? Like, did I come across rude? Was my impatience coming through my mouth? Like, I didn't think so. I thought I checked myself. But I was just kind of sitting there like, holy moly. But the thing was, I felt stable and I felt strong still. And I knew it wasn't going to ruin my day. In the future, like normally, yeah. Anyway. It would ruin my day. But I knew in that moment it wouldn't, even though I was still feeling the reverb, the aftershock. And as I'm trying to digest all this stuff, the dude behind me goes, well, that escalated quickly. And I was like, I have to tell you, it was nice to have someone acknowledge and be a witness. So it was almost validating to me that I wasn't nuts. I was like, wait, I wasn't right? Okay, that's fine. I even did a gentle little like hands pushing energy towards them and pushing energy towards me, like that is yours and this is mine. And I left the market a little shaken, but I snapped my fingers to brush off the energy and move on with my day. And yeah, okay, I'm pretty sensitive to certain things, very emotional. I'm sure you'll know that if you've been listening to this podcast. I embrace this about myself. I love it. One of my superpowers, women, anybody, partners, men, whoever, if you feel that part of yourself, that is a superpower. That is your intuition speaking. So yeah, I felt it for about an hour or two, but it turned into compassion because I know those women must be really hurting to feel the need to be on the defensive to that degree. I mean, it was shocking and I felt sad, and I thought, man, there's some real hurt out there and you never know what people are really going through and and later that night, I was having dinner with my family. Oh, it was a birthday dinner. I had my belated birthday dinner and belated Three Kings dinner where we had Puerto Rican food. I'm half Puerto Rican. And I made my rice and beans and they were fabulous. But, my birthday was my birthday. It was great. I didn't carry it with me like I normally would. And I wanted to share that with you because I felt it was such an incredible transformation to just be intentional with your energy before you go forward with whatever it is you're about to do, whether it's going in public, whether it's speaking with somebody you're nervous to speak to, whether, but go listen to the second episode so you can hear about the different energy tricks because you don't want to zip up and block your energies from your family. You can, but it's like towards certain instances, you'll see it. But how does this relate to commercial fishing, right? All right. So it's the concept of protecting, as Brenda said, protecting content over context. And it's how you manage your inner content, regardless of the outer context of everyday experiences. So in that moment, I felt secure. I felt like I was able to move forward with the kindness and love, where before I probably would have shut down and been pissed for days about why didn't I say this? And oh my God, how dare they? And blah, blah, blah. Like I would have been pissed. Like that's one of the things, that's one of my things, y'all. But at this moment I was like, oh wait, no, that energy is not mine. I have mine. I'm protecting my content regardless of the context. And with commercial fishing, as we know, there's a lot of moving parts. Some fisheries are thriving and some fishing families are just holding on for dear life. And I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm just expressing the realities of what's going on via members of our Partners of Commercial Fishing community. And the point is that, as we know, we always have to be vigilant and ready to adjust with change. I think if anybody knows how to do that, it's people who are tied to the ocean, to the moon, to the tides, to this beautiful, incredible, adventurous life that we lead. That, one of the reasons we even get into this life is because it's not a 9-to-5, right? And with that comes these other, what do we call, other context, there we go, that may come our way, and to keep it exciting, or whatever words you want to use. But I was thinking like the zip up method could be helpful when you're, dealing with people, when your fisherman is away. Maybe you have to, call somebody or something maintained with the house, or call the accountant, or call whoever you got to do or make sure things with customs are being handled okay. Like there's tons of things that Partners of Commercial Fishermen do on the daily. I can't even list them all. I mean, they're getting the food, all the things that you just don't realize that the Partners of Commercial Fishermen do. It can be really intimidating, especially when you're also maintaining the home fires in your own family and your own mental wellness. So the zip up method would be so helpful when you're dealing with people, when you're having to deal with them on your own, if you feel like you need that extra boost, or if you're working with local communities to advocate for your fisheries. Because I see you women, I know you, I see you partners that are writing to your senators, writing to your local whoever's to make sure that they listen and take notice of the commercial fishing communities and what's going on and the ever-changing landscapes, and your love and dedication to helping fisheries thrive. You're the heartbeat. And so these are just small, simple methods that we could help strengthen that, because we always need to check in and make sure that we're grounded. We may not be able to control what's going on around us, but we can do these simple things like using up the zip up method to help protect our just sanity, And also breath work is so freaking helpful. As Brenda shared with us in her episode, she recommends just 5 to 10 inhales and a longer exhale. That's it. It's nothing, no box breathing, nothing like that. We can even try it together right now. So we do an inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Hello. Who doesn't feel better after that? I mean, it's like the magic of exhaling longer than your inhale. And she also mentions like breathing out through a straw. So you're kind of pushing more of the air out and just cycling this new fresh energy, this fresh air in. And it helps to clear our minds. And with commercial fishing, whatever's coming your way, that kind of calming method can help you clear your mind to decide on the next best step for the fishing business, your family, whatever you need answers for, First, we need clarity. We need to start from a place of feeling grounded so we are not reacting and spiraling and feeling stress and not sleeping and eating and, these are ways. I know that this, for some people, this sounds hokey and ridiculous, but let me tell you, it works. And the Maine Coast Fishermen's Association, Monique Coombs, she was on here I think she was our last episode of 2023. It was so great. One of the mental wellness tricks that they're doing, and I mentioned this in the last episode, is breath work. And I wondered how the fishermen were receiving that, because I felt like it maybe was me projecting. Maybe it was too of a new age, like quote unquote, type of technique of managing stress. And she said that they love it, and it really has been helpful because they're open to anything at this point to help maintain that kind of wellness, that mental wellness, so they can continue and enjoy their jobs and their lives and their livelihoods. And it's just so nice to know that it's already happening within our community, and that the Maine Coast Fishermen's Association, man, they've got it on lock. They are doing so much, and I really, really admire all that they do. So shout out to them. And we can really take notice from what they're doing as well. So if you go to their website, you can also see what other tools they have available that you can implement into your life and your community. So yeah, I just want to say that, no matter what, you are not alone. And here's ways that you can always come closer into our community if you want more support, because we're here for you when you need it. For example, we have the private online forum, which you get one-on-one support from me and other POCFs in the private community. There's a growing bank of resources to help you along this journey, from finances to wellness to anything that you need help with. I will find, because that is what I'm here for. I'm here to help cultivate and deliver and create to the best of my ability, what we need to figure out our next steps, right? And I know we all have answers here, which is so beautiful. So let's all learn together, right? So also the forum has private podcasts. There's live Zooms to connect with POCFs, online events, and gifts, because I love to shower my private members with gifts for being a part of the group. And we'd love to have you too, if that speaks to you. And of course, you can always find amazing resources and community insights on our lifestyle blog at pocfpride.com. It has rotating content every Sunday, and it's shout out. It also is sent to our newsletter recipients, and we have a new weekly newsletter. And I describe it as passing notes to your friends in middle school. It's more intimate, personal stories that I share with pictures and behind the scenes of what's going on in our community. It's really great. And every Wednesday, you know where to find us, right here on your favorite podcast platform, with weekly episodes to connect us all in this unique and adventurous lifestyle, where we can learn about what POCF's fishermen, industry insiders, and helpful, incredible experts are experiencing today, and what we can all learn from each other. And regardless, how you got here, I am so thrilled that you found us, and I'm so honored for you to be here. And thank you always for listening. So as always, with love and POCF pride. Till next time. Hey y'all, I'm doing a little author's edit right here, an audible author's edit. I mentioned that I was wondering how the Maine fishermen would react to breath work, being that it's more of a buzzword / new age thing, which, by the way, it is not a new age thing. It's been around since the dawn of human existence, essentially, for thousands of years. And there's all kinds of incredible different types of breath work patterns that you can learn. If you want to dive deeper, you can research that. All types of box breathing and the prana breathing, and just a whole magical land of breath work. So I did want to make that note. I think maybe the name breath work might be newer. I don't know. Maybe I'm digging myself into a bigger hole here. But anyway, it is not new age. It is been around since the dawn of time. And maybe new age means bringing back the old dawn of timeness. Maybe that's the definition. But anyway, I just wanted to send that with you on your way. And I hope you have beautiful, healthy, cleansing, energizing, calming, whatever you need type of breaths that you can pull out at any time in your back pocket. All right. Love y'all. Till next time. I'm sharing a review from a forum member because this is really driving home how incredibly valuable and resourceful it is to have that kind of intimate community inside the private forum. So here we go. She says, "Thank you so much for your advice. It actually made me cry. Thank you so much for your support. I don't have that here in the middle of Missouri, where this lifestyle isn't a thing. It really means a lot." And that message really meant a lot to me, because that just shows how connected we are throughout the world, throughout the country, whether we're near a harbor or not. And also, things arise all the time and you just don't know where to turn. You don't know who to ask because many of your friends and family probably maybe don't even know how to relate, or they maybe can relate in a different way and it's not exactly the support that you're looking for. That is what you can find. Or no, not that. You can find the opposite in our forum. Our forum is just so full of love, so full of women who know what it's like, who have been there and can offer support to help you whenever you need it. I am there to offer one-on-one support as well. And it's just really incredible to get to know y'all and to also understand what kind of resources that you need that I can research and find for you and cultivate for our incredible community. So if you want to join in on this beautiful group that we have, you can go to meganwaldrop.com/private-forum to learn more. That's meganwaldrop.com/private-forum. Hope to see you in there. Thank you so much for being here. Your downloads, your reviews mean more than you know because that's how we know that you are enjoying the podcast. And if you'd like to further support the community, you can tap the subscribe button, share with family and friends, post on socials, or write a review. But you know what? As long as you're getting value, that is all that matters. But if you go that extra step, we truly, truly appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're a partner of a commercial fisherman looking for more resources on how to navigate this unique lifestyle, from long distance dating to communication to finances to motherhood advice to mental health, safety, you know, all the things. We're building more resources on succession planning and retirement. It's going to be amazing. There's even an option to join the private forum as well if you jump onto pocfpride.com to learn more. We are there for you. We got all of the community and all of the resources you need, and they are continuing to grow as we learn what you need the most. We can't wait to connect with you, and thank you so much again for being here. Thanks for listening today. Being here means you're a part of the POCF family, and we wouldn't be a community without you. I'm Megan, and this is the Partners of Commercial Fishermen podcast. As always, much love, POCF pride, and remember, you are not alone.